Good morning, everybody. This is Eureka John with Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live on Theta TV from Leander, Texas. And it is July 6th, 2021, 5:24 in the morning here in Leander. And I am up at the ass crack before dawn, just like always, doing my deal. And I am talking crypto every single morning. And yeah, I put it up on YouTube and Odyssey and BitChute and sometimes BitTube for all you people that don't want to jump on at this time, and that's totally fine and understandable, man. So whatever. But just give me a thumbs up and stuff. That kind of helps me. But I'm not trying to bum money off of you for sure. I got a job. That's why I do this so early in the morning, so I can run to my job afterwards. But I'm not your financial advisor, and I'm not your teacher. So I'm just a dude looking at crypto, and this gives me a reason to research something every single day and keep me disciplined to have something or another to talk about on this show, which is not hard because there's always something to talk about with crypto for sure. And there is my comments that are being pulled up, my chat screen. I couldn't get it to pull up, so now I can actually, now it disappeared again. So if I don't respond to anything you say in the chat dialogue, don't be all, butthurt because I can't see it. So anyway, let's go over here to the CoinGecko and take a look. Take a gander, why don't we? All right, so Bitcoin's still sitting pretty level between 30 and 35,000 at $34,072.71. Ethereum is $2,200.70 and $2,270.58. Tether is okay. So do we still have 3 stable coins in the top 10? No, we don't. Binance USD got knocked down by Uniswap, which has had a little pop in its growth, 5.8% in the past 24 hours. Polkadot down at number 9, 1540. Then we got the Doge. Why is it still sitting at 7 in the top 10? I don't understand why. Meme coins are just, I've said it before, man, maybe it's a psyop. Maybe they threw out meme coins out there just to decredit the cryptocurrency movement so all the large whales could come in and invest in all the meaningful projects and tokens out there and throw this utter bullcrap out to all the other people to just jump in and buy a bunch of meme coins and think they can get instantly rich. There's no such thing as instantly rich. It just doesn't happen because the few cases where it does, those people usually end up poor in the long run anyway. XRP at 66 cents, Cardano $1.42, Binance Coin 308.49. And and I hate to piss in your Wheaties for those who love jumping into some of these Ponzi scheme type of tokens too. You know which ones I'm talking about. All right, but there are some very legitimate projects out there. Solana, I believe, is one at 33.54. Chainlink, I believe, is another one, 19.21. Polygon Matic, $1.13. And then we have Theta Network as what I'm broadcasting on. So obviously I believe in this one. I was lucky enough to get a streaming key. I don't think that they would have probably let me on their network nowadays. But I managed to get a streaming key, and I'm all right with that. And now they're having auditions and everything like that for people wanting to get streaming keys, and there's some pretty good tryouts, and I'm just like, dang, man, I'm glad I got in when I did, because I definitely would not have made it for sure. And then we got some VeChain still sticking around. That's at 8 cents. Aave 326.83, up 16.1% in the past 24 hours, up 43.7% in the past 7 days. That's good to see because Aave is considered one of the DeFi blue chips. You have Aave, Compound Synthetics, MakerDAO, what else? Uniswap and SushiSwap. These are all kind of the blue chip of the DeFi world. And then Yearn Finance would probably be included in that too. Compound's up 14.3%. Let's see where Yearn Finance is, if I can find it immediately. I know Uniswap's up, and let's see here. The graph is down 5.8%. Okay. The synthetics is up 27.0%. So it's another DeFi blue chip up. So DeFi is doing very well. DeFi blue chips. Let's check out DeFi Pulse real quick. Actually, let's do DeFi Llama, because DeFi Llama seems to include a lot of projects that DeFi Pulse won't include for some reason or another. I have no idea. But it seems to be political, and if you're gonna base your stats and your facts on politics, I don't really want to use your platform, so I will use DeFi Llama instead. And yeah, because DeFi Pulse doesn't include 1inch, and I have no idea why. Let's see here. Okay, so total value locked in DeFi is a $110.64 billion. That's absolutely insane. So you have Curve as number one. That's a stable coin, total value locked. And let's see here. Is this sorted by that? Yeah, it is. 10.4 billion. Aave, $9.75 billion. InstaDApp. I don't really know a whole lot about InstaDApp, but looks like it's pretty popular. It's number 3 over MakerDAO. MakerDAO is kind of the OG DeFi app, and it's what DAI, the only decentralized stablecoin out there that I know of. Compound is 6.98 billion. I mean, just stop and think for a second. How much is a billion? 1 million. Anybody could be happy to get $1 million. And then 100 of those. How many houses could you buy for $100 million? I mean, over in Hollywood, maybe one, if you're lucky. But I mean, anywhere else in the United States, and you could, anywhere in the United States with $100 million, you can buy a really nice house. I mean, most places in the United States, with the exception of Boston and San Francisco, LA, and Manhattan and New York, you can buy a decent house for $1 million. And so think of that, 100 million, you could buy an absolute mansion anywhere in the United States. And then 100 of those mansions will get you $1 billion. Well, MakerDAO is at $7.09 billion. That's a lot of money whenever you just stop to reflect on that. And people can throw that around sometimes, just like it's nonsense and nothing. What's up, VideoTuber and Bantanic? Good morning. Welcome back to the show. And so yeah, and then we got Convex Finance. Never heard of that, and how did that get to the top 8? I'm gonna have to look into that. Yearn Finance, Pancake Swap, Yushi Swap, Liquidity, that one I talked about last week. It has the back end automated protocol, and anybody can create their own front end and operate it like a absolutely free open source franchise, DeFi franchise platform. Bankless DAO uses the Liquidity front end, and they access the back end through the protocol, and it allows, it helps to fund and finance the Bankless DAO. So I'm going to be jumping in to learn, the Liquidity protocol probably through the Bankless DAO. And then we got Balancer, Mirror Finance through the Luna. I don't know Lido or Lido, however you want to pronounce it. Uniswap version 3. So there's 3 different versions of Uniswap, if you did not know. And then all with various subtle, differences. So I mean, it gets down to here to a lot of them, the more, I mean, Dodo, I've heard of them. Pooled together, okay. Yeah. So yeah, man, there's a whole lot now. Look at all this. This is how much the DeFi movement is growing. There's becoming a DeFi for pretty much everything. You kind of have to watch out for, some of these smaller weird pop-up ones that call themselves DeFi protocols, and they have a yield APY of 1,000%, and yeah. And it's not a DeFi protocol, that's a Ponzi scheme. But I mean, there are some really legitimate ones out there. And like I said, these are the blue chips: Curve, Aave, MakerDAO, Compound, Uniswap, Yearn, Sushi Swap, synthetics. And I'm not just spouting these facts out of my butt either. I got these facts off of Decrypt and not Decrypto. Decrypt. This is one of my main news go-to sources right here. I like Decrypt. I like the Defiant. Cointelegraph's pretty good. CoinDesk, but Decrypt is cool. It's gives me a lot of good information. Let's see here. Where did I find that? Anyway, I found it on my my mobile app, so I don't really know how to navigate. There we go. I don't really know how to navigate the website too well, and I don't feel like trying to learn how to navigate the website right in front of you guys. So anyway, let's go to the topic of the day. This is a topic I meant to cover a few days ago, and I got sidetracked by things like the white paper and other stuff, and I don't know, the whole spirit of Independence Day, and yeah. Okay, so anyway, Chainlink God on July 2nd posted on Twitter, and this whole talks about DeFi as well, and the whole concept of transparency. That is a really needed thing. Anyway, he says MakerDAO, which is the one of the first OG decentralized. Yeah, I gotta follow MakerDAO right here. They are one of the first DeFi platforms that lets you lock up your Ethereum. I believe it used to be called ETHLend way back in the day. And you could lock up Aave used to be called ETHLend, I'm sorry. But you could lock up your Ethereum on MakerDAO, and you could get the DAI stablecoin token that is pegged and equal to $1 in return. And so you wouldn't have to give up your Ethereum. You could lock it up and borrow against it to go invest in whatever else you wanted to, or just use it to pay your bills or whatever, without having to give up your crypto. And it was completely automated. It is still completely automated. All decentralized protocols are completely automated, supposedly. And some have more governance than others, and everybody has their own different view of what governance models are. But yeah, it's been around for a long time. It's pretty tried and true. And like I said, it's a DeFi blue chip. But anyway, Chainlink God, which is a very, very prominent Chainlink Twitter guy, and he's super educational. I recommend giving him a follow. But he says, MakerDAO's oracles appear to be selling exclusive rights to post their price data on-chain to an insider group. Now, this is a pretty hefty accusation here. An oracle, if you don't know what an oracle is, it is a piece of code, a smart contract, I guess, that allows data to be funneled into the blockchain. And say, for instance, price feeds. How do you think that CoinGecko right here gets all this updated, up to the minute price information? They get it through Chainlink oracles to various sources, and oracles, Chainlink oracles, people connect these oracles to tons of different price sources, and then through those oracles they get fed into websites like this, and then they can also do it for other things like web data, traffic data, weather data, that's what I meant to say, sports scores, tons of different use cases. So yeah, with data kind of being the new oil of the new fourth industrial revolution, Chainlink is positioned itself to be in a very lucrative place potentially in the future because of the way they set up their system. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked on oracles, but anyway, MakerDAO's oracles, where MakerDAO gets its information, its price data, appear to be selling exclusive rights to post their price data on chain to an insider group. Wow, and you think it's decentralized, right? This group can make millions by being the only entities able to liquidate positions on protocols that use MakerDAO's oracles without a delay. Okay, so they're selling the price chain data, the price data to insiders before anybody else can have access to the updated price on the actual website. So let's see what is going on here. Chainlink says Maker's oracles are either selling rights to liquidations, to Flashbot blocks root bots or are using their power to capture all the liquidation fees themselves. This is because MakerDAO oracles just sign price data off-chain while a relayer is needed to post it on-chain. So in between where they sign it and then they need the relayer to post it, to publish it, they are selling that information in between that process. MakerDAO's oracles are effectively extracting miner extracted value from protocols by making liquidations permissioned. And I've talked about miner extracted value before, in which the miners, were rearranging people's transactions on the block to allow for sandwich attacks, which jack the price up artificially for one unknowing person as they're trying to make a trade, and then they arbitrage, and then they do a transaction immediately after that and arbitrage between that to garner a little profit. When you do that over and over again, you do pretty well. Anyway, they're kind of doing that in a little different version of that through oracles, through gathering that insider information. In comparison, Chainlink oracles directly post their data on chain, so protocols can guarantee that liquidations are permissionless, e.g. Aave and Compound. So MakerDAO has their own oracles. They do not use Chainlink like CoinGecko does. Okay, so MakerDAO spun up their own oracles, and they're not using a decentralized oracle like Chainlink. So what Chainlink God is pointing out, the fact that they are able to control the minute detail of their oracles is allowing them to basically extract value and turn a profit through insider information because they are using their own oracles. And so he's trying to expose some potential, I wouldn't go as far to say corruption, but some questionable behavior. So let's just take a quick look at what people are saying. Okay, so you got 10 comments. Okay, 10 comments of here, and I'm going to go through the clarification. Okay, so a follow up to this thread. Okay, so down here it says, what the? I just want to shout out to Leshner for being so fundamentally based. To be honest, I've started diving headfirst into Compound since this Oracle shift. Loving so far. Why is this only being discussed now? DeFi Drew saying this. This should be part of the broader MEV discussion in a fairly shady of Maker. Would be better optics to outright say they do the liquidation themselves to benefit the Maker protocol with more profit. And then they're talking about the meme mafia. Okay. So, is a permissioned group of people the only actors who has access to the signed data? Because if so, flash loans doesn't solve this problem. Okay, so I went back over here and there was a response to it, and let me pull it up. Okay, so right here, Nathan says, Nathan Leshner, I believe. Has anyone done any research into the people making Oracle updates? There appears to be a small group of insiders in a tightly permissioned and highly centralized system, making millions of dollars through getting access to Oracle data off-chain before the rest of us. This is where Chainlink God is getting his information. So let me go back to that, and okay, and I cannot find where I found that, but okay, here it is. Okay. Oh yeah, see, it's really small for me, so that's why I took a photo of it. So let me pull up this photo so I can actually read it to you. And okay, okay, so I can't find all that, and I can't really read all this, so this presents a problem. Okay, so I've posted about this on a MakerDAO forum to try to raise attention to this issue. It's a clarification requested. Here's this on the MakerDAO forum. Okay, so I'll just scroll it. Previously, we would monitor the meme pool for Oracle updates, but with the advent of flashbots, it's now impossible to even see the Oracle updates before they are included. In my opinion, this goes against the spirit and ethos of blockchain in every conceivable way, could attract the attention of government regulators, and that's something you don't want either, and is inefficient to lending markets on a protocol level. It's like everybody's having a party, right? And you want the party to keep going for past curfew hours or whatever, and you got some schmo over here lighting off fireworks, attracting the attention of the police. So this is kind of what's possibly happening. This is a really interesting observation, somebody said. I would love to see more data on this. Which Oracle designs are vulnerable to this? It definitely seems true that an Oracle which is not fully decentralized would bring significant scrutiny. And then Nathan says the MakerDAO oracles and all protocols using them, for example, DYDX. MakerDAO has its own oracle that is not decentralized, that is a Chainlink oracle. So, for instance, Compound, they have their own oracle as well, the coin, and they had a hack and an oracle exploit, I believe late last year as well. So Compound uses a more centralized price source, Coinbase. But at least, so they were using Coinbase oracles, but at least they published the prices in a fair manner for everyone to put on chain, while the price sources themselves are accurate and decentralized. The centralization happens because the price sources off chain are published to an insider network with for play access. The bots publishing the prices to oracles are performing the relevant liquidations in the same transactions atomically. Officially, they do not allow access to this private network for people running liquidator bots. I've asked and been refused. Yet the blockchain clearly shows that insiders with direct access to the network are performing basically all the liquidations. So all the insiders are performing liquidations. This bot, for example, has direct access to MakerDAO price sources. You can trace every single transaction in Bloxy to observe that out of over 400 liquidation transactions, it has posted prices in each one, and many of these prices appear nowhere else on the blockchain. The operators of this bot have access to the private permission network. So far, I've not been able to find a bot trading liquidations on DYDX without permissioned access. This wasn't the case only 4 months ago when people were able to effect liquidations after the Oracle update or backrun the Oracle update to effect the liquidation. And then somebody says, this might be an interesting use case for historical meme pool data analysis. And then Nathan's response to that, I'm interested in helping with this analysis. As far as I can tell, no one is talking about this yet, and it's a critical point of centralization in a web of interconnected protocols and systems. Even as a trader myself in a competitive market, I still believe in an even playing field for everyone where the best software and the smartest developers win, not backroom dealing like in traditional finance. That's the spirit of blockchain. Amen, Nathan. Yes, and it is true, the whole point of this, and I read the white paper yesterday, is decentralization without some kind of third-party intermediary or without anybody having any type of upper hand or advantage to be able to game the system. That is what crypto and decentralization is about. So, MakerDAO, whether intentionally or unintentionally allowing this to happen, would be guilty of insider trading. However, Chainlink God did in fair fashion and form, because he seems to be a very rational person, wanted to clarify and follow up on the thread that he was wrong about key points on the situation. So let me close this out. And so I just want to know that I'm not slinging and mudslinging and gossiping here. I'm trying to make a point about transparency in the DeFi world, and it is very important. And this is a prime example of how transparency can bring to light maybe some unintended type of situations happening that just needs to be wrapped up. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So, some clarifications by Chainlink God. I want to say that I'm a fan of MakerDAO, and so am I, and wasn't trying to generate any hate. I saw some concerning information and wanted to bring transparency. Given additional context, it's not as bad as I originally thought. Sorry for the confusion caused. So, no need to be sorry, Chainlink God. You saw a potential issue, you brought it to light, and it got resolved. And that is what is important. That's what's important. So, my understanding was that the Maker Oracle updates were being bundled in the same transaction as DYDX liquidations before the data was accessible to others and was routed through a private meme pool. But there was additional context that I was unaware of. The Scuttlebutt network, I have no idea what that is, being permissioned for a period of time was a temporary fix for a previous issue before a LIB P2P integration was complete. Relayers using flashbots led to price data not being put in the public meme pool, which is why such transactions were generated. Number 4, it is clear to me that maker oracles were not and are not selling exclusive rights to signed price data. So they were not doing that. Hopefully people still hung in with me here and didn't just sign off and then just go, tweet to the world. Oh my God, did you hear what Eureka John just said? Like anybody. I don't know. But it's clear to me that maker oracles were not and are not selling exclusive rights to signed price data. But the transactions seen were simply the result of the circumstances of a particular situation that had logical engineering reasoning behind it. So they did this on purpose in order to be able to do some repairs and some updates. My mistake for the confusion caused here. Official response below. While I don't agree with all the points about Chainlink, the context about the situation is appreciated. And, Eric Wall, he's kind of a notorious contrarian for everything. What does he say here? The irony is that while Maker was easily able to fix the issue, the Chainlink architecture, on the other hand, has a fundamental design flaw that such that this cannot be avoided. This is because it lacks separation between the feeds and relayers that the Maker oracles have had from the beginning. The MakerDAO oracle architecture separates the roles of feeds and relayers. Oracle updates. This means that by providing permissionless access and opportunity to be a relayer, anyone can update a MakerDAO oracle and extract MEV. Chainlink, on the other hand, does not separate these two roles of submitters of feeds and relayers. This means that all miner extracted value in Chainlink oracles is completely monopolized by the Chainlink feeds, the price submitters, an exclusive group whose membership is controlled by Chainlink. Interesting. Chainlink randomly selecting a feed to be the role of oracle updater for each price update does not fix this problem. It just socializes gains among the privileged feed validator set. This is not the case in an open permissionless network like the MakerDAO oracles, where anyone can be a relayer to push oracle updates. Interesting observations, and either way, like Chainlink says here, truth is the ultimate goal, and this is all a slow refining and honing process that is going on in the DeFi world, and all this stuff is new territory. It is the Wild West, and this is what I explained to some people at the block party I went to that were curious about cryptocurrencies, and some people losing all their stuff and getting wrecked, and Ponzi scheme. I'm like, look, man, it is the Wild West. It is not for everybody. This is all experimental, and if you're gonna go west, young man, not only bring your pickaxe but bring your gun, and yes, and bring your binoculars to look far in the future for possible issues. And then Chainlink said to, what did DeFi Pulse say? I don't know. He does a summary on the fair sequencing service. Anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I've gone on long enough. But this kind of gives you an idea, and just the spirit of what is going on right now in the DeFi world, and the need for transparency, and these amazing watchdogs that are out there taking a look at all this stuff. And so yeah, thankful to Chainlink God and Nathan _ whoever you are. I actually started following you. Let's see, Nathan Worsley, not Lesh. Okay, Nathan Worsley. Yeah, thank you, Nathan Worsley, and thank you, Chainlink God, for finding this stuff and bringing it to light so it can be discussed. And that is the important thing. Nobody's trying to trash anybody or point fingers. They're just trying to say, hey, here's an issue, let's discuss this. And that's how people in life and everything should be. Okay. Now that has been done, it's time for me to go ahead and make my smoothie and get my butt to work. So I've been creating some animations and stuff like that. I animated a little character. Last night, somebody, made a little guy in Photoshop, and they put it on layers, and I just, animated the eyeballs and made them blink and stuff like that, and added some audio to it. And I have fun doing little stuff like that. I have a background in animation. A long time ago, I used to teach a little stop motion animation class at the Austin Film Society, and So it's just a hobby of mine. So if you want me to animate your guy, I'd be happy to.
Bridges the key to bridging these divides.
Okay, well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.